Good evening, welcome to Pnimis Tatari Share, Thursday night Parshas Bo. We're going to be talking about the Esser Makos this week, and we may get a little bit carried away, talking about the Makos and all the tremendous hashpos of the Makos, and all the shemus involved in the Makos, and all the tikkunim of the Makos. Okay, we'll see what we can accomplish. I'd like to start with a story. Okay, this story is just a story, not a Chassidish Maisa. It is a story about appreciating Pnimius and not getting caught up with Chitzonius. Because this shir is it's a shir about focusing on the Pnimius and not getting caught up in Chitzonius. So it's Pnimius HaTorah. But when you learn Torah in a Pnimiustic way, then your whole outlook of life becomes a little more Pnimius. You look a little deeper and you don't get caught up with the waves of society. So listen to this story. Cute story. I was reminded of it. I went to Yaakov Loeffler made a Pidyon event this week, and he told me he's doing his rounds in the psychiatric ward. So it reminded me of this story. Once upon a time, there was a group of medical students who were actually doing their rounds in a psychiatric ward. They were being shown around the psychiatric ward. And one of the girls in the group of medical students, she noticed something interesting, and she separated from the group for a few minutes. And when she came back looking for the group, she realized that they were gone. They had left the floor. She looks for the way out. She finds the door. She tries opening the door. And as you would expect in a mental ward, the door's locked. So she's like looking for a button, looking to try to figure out how to get out. As she's sitting there all confused, realizing she needs to get out of here, a guy, tall guy, dressed nicely with a name badge, Steve, he says, "Can I help you?" She says, "Yeah, well, I need to get out of here. I'm a medical student, and I don't belong here. I don't belong here." So he says, "Yeah, they all say that. Go back to your room." So she says, "No, I'm telling you the truth. I don't belong here. I came up with a group of people, and I'm stuck. I need to get out of here." He says with a very official voice, I know exactly what you mean. But please, just go back to your room." And she starts crying, like, I don't belong here. I got to get out of here. And suddenly, from down the hall, she hears a voice screaming, "Steve, would you leave her alone and go back to your room?" So, what's an imshal? When I heard this story, it's like, what a great mashal. What's it a great mashal for, right? The whole world, the chitzonius of the world, is one big mental ward. Okay? The whole world is running after literally the biggest narishkeiten. The most destructive behavior is glorified, right? And we show up in this mental ward as guests, right? With a job to do, right? And somehow we could get convinced that we belong in this mental ward because society tells us, hey, go back to your room, right? You belong here. You're part of this mental ward, and we lose sight of the fact that we have no shaykhis over here. This is a chitzoniistic world. We're pneumistic people. We got to get out of here. And tell us again, no, you belong here. And they're constantly selling us, you belong here, you belong here. Go back to your room. Now imagine if the average person who accepts the message of society would have been that girl in the mental ward. She would have said, oh, go back to my room, okay. And she looks around, finds a room, And 20 years later, right? She's still in the room because someone convinced her she belongs there. What a sad ending, right? But that's what happens literally to people in this world. They get caught up in the chitzonius of the world. The message of the chitzoniistic world is you belong here, right? Check in, have a good time, and people unfortunately can sometimes check into rooms or worlds that are a lot smaller than a floor in the psychiatric hospital, right? They check into little cells that are about 3 inches by 3 inches, and literally they enter the world of chayshach. We were talking this morning in Shir that makas chayshach. The Vilna Gaon says chayshach is the metzias of chayshach. It's not that chayshach is not a head or it's not lacking light. It's not just when there's no light there's chayshach. Meaning chayshach is a bria b'fnei atzma called chayshach. However, chayshach, the way chayshach works is that its teva is, when light comes, it moves out of the way for the light. But there's a bria called chayshach. Yotza aru vari chayshach. Hashem created a bria called chayshach. Chayshach's teva is, when the R comes, it makes way for the R.
So it's not a latch and light.
Right. It's not a head R. It's a mitzias of chayshach. And that's what he says. The Raya is yoytze R uvari chayshach. There's a bria called chayshach. He says, Makas chayshach in this week's parsha is the Raya. The chayshach is a mitzias because chayshach had a mitzias that it was able to actually affect people that it got so thick, right? Makas chayshach wasn't chayshach with some molasses poured on them. Chayshach was the chayshach itself was so intense that they couldn't move machmas of chayshach. He says the lashon of the pasuk is by makas chayshach by yamesh chayshach, right? By yamesh chayshach. What's the lashon by yamesh chayshach? So the taich is chayshach was the lashon mash is to move, right? It says Yeshua loy mash mitoich oil. He never left the base medrash. Okay, by yamesh chayshach means the chayshach of makas chayshach went against its teva. Instead of it moving away from the R, it actually moved away the R. By Yamish Chayshach was that the Chayshach was mush the R, and normally the Chayshach is the non-aggressive one. Oh, the R is here. Let me make myself scarce, right? And in Makas Chayshach was the Chayshach took an aggressive role, and it pushed away all the R, and it was shaylet. So it comes out if Chayshach is a bria called Chayshach, right? So it comes out that if Chayshach would not leave, right, when the R comes, you could have R and Chayshach at the same time, meaning a person can be sitting in a room mali light and still be in Chayshach. What is that? When you're on your phone, right? You're on the phone, the room's light, but where are you? In complete and utter darkness.
Even the phone is light.
Right, even the phone's light, right? But a person is gone. He ceases to exist. Where is he? He's in total chayshach. Okay, so that's the idea of the inyan of always focusing on pneumius. When you're entire in the pneumistic eifen, then your whole outlook of your everyday outlook on the world becomes a little more pneumius, and you and Be'ez Hashem with that you have siyata tishmaya to outmaneuver all the messages of the chitzonistic world, or they refer to in the Sfarim HaKadoshim, the chitzonim, right? The Gemara refers to it. The Kaychas HaTumah are called chitzonim. Why are Kaychas HaTumah called chitzonim? Because that's what they are. They're just outer shells, and they just present beautiful packaging, right? And you tear it open, you see, right inside is Mali Kedusha. They put on a whole olam azedik, a taivadik, a packaging and everything. Just stay on the surface, and you have to go to the pneumius. Okay, but I want to talk about Azay. Well, let's see how we could structure the vart. It's maybe a little bit of long vart. There may be quite a bit of more shameless hakadoshim than we're used to. But let's see what type of siyata shmai we can have. Let's have a quick tefillah. We should be zeicha to record these thoughts that they will be appreciated not just tonight but for others in the future. Be'ez Hashem. The last week's parsha had seven makkahs, right? The first 7 makkahs. This week's parsha has the final 3 makkahs. Okay, for a total of 10. 10 when you have an inyan of 10 makkahs. 10 makkahs is obviously an inyan of shleimus, right? The kasha, the Mishnah Avos that says, "Ba'asar mamaris nivra olam alay b'mayim echad ha'yachal yibaris." Hashem created the world with 10 mamaris. He could have created the world with 1 maimer. Hashem could have said, "Yehi olam." Right? And there would have been oilam exactly the way it is now, exactly the way Hashem wanted it. However, HaKadosh Baruch Hu did it with Asam Amaris, K'dei Litin Schar Tov Tzadikim, Shemekayim Esayim Shnever B'Sar Lamois V'La'anish L'Rishayim She Machiv Oilam Shnever Asar Lamois. Whatever the tifkite of it is, but there's an inyan of Asar Mamaris, that this process of Asar Mamaris is an inyan from Shleimus. 10 is a magic number of Shleimus. And Mela, when you come to the Asar Makkos, you have the same idea over here. Right, HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave 10 makkahs to the Mitzrayim. Aloi makkah echad hayachal litei lehem. Excuse me. Hashem could have given them 1 makkah, and He could have given this. He could have given this 1 makkah, and this 1 makkah could have played out with 10 aspects to it that would have mimicked Asar Makkahs, or he could have given 1 makkah that would have been so compelling that the same Kiddush Shem Shemayim L'chorah could have been made from this 1 makkah. However, when you have the inyan Asar Makkahs, does haste that the tikkun that was coming from the Asar Makas really corresponds to the Inyan the Asar Mamar Shabem Nivra Olam, because the Asar Makas is actually being Bari Klal Yisrael at the same time as it is being Machriv Mitzrayim. Okay, this is a concept called the Makas are referred to as Naguf Virafu. It's a clap to the Mitzrayim, and it is actually forging Klal Yisrael. Every Makkah that comes, a Makkah is a Gilui of Kedushas Hashem that's being Makkah the Mitzrayim. The Mitzrayim are Koach HaTumah. The Makkahs come from Koach HaKedusha. When the Koach HaKedusha displays itself in the world, so the Koachas around the world get destroyed by it, and the Yidden that are sitting there are getting nispal. They're getting invigorated from it. They're getting niskadish from the Makkah. So there's two things going on. As the Mitzrayim are getting obliterated, the Yidden are getting built up from all this Kedusha. So the Asar Makkahs correspond to the Asar Mamars. So maybe when we talk about the Makkahs, you're talking about his galus of Kedusha. Okay? That's what every Makkah is in his galus of Kedusha. Okay? That's the pnimius of it. Okay, so let's just talk about Makkas Kinim. Okay? Makkas Kinim is something that is really a game changer when it comes to the Makkahs. Okay? Because up to Makkas Kinim, the Mitzrayim seem to be pretty cool. You know? Hashem makes dam. We make dam. Hashem makes Sephardeya. We make Sephardeya. So we're just not impressed. Comes along Kinim, and oh no, Etzba Kimhi, a new Galus. Okay, so Kinim is a new Galus of Kedusha to Klal Yisrael. At the same time, this Galus Kedusha is a new Galus to Mitzrayim that all of a sudden they're blown away. Okay, so we're going to try to define what is it about Makkas Kinim, right? And the Galus Makkas Kinim, that's Nischadish, and maybe tell us about all the Makkahs, from this viewpoint. Just an interesting ha'ara, right? Just a funny ha'ara. I mean, it's a good ha'ara, I think, right? Moshe Rabbeinu makes dam. It seems a big deal. We can make dam, right? And make more dam. Moshe Rabbeinu makes Tzfardeya, right? Oh, no big deal. We can make Tzfardeya. They make more Tzfardeya. It's like, I come over to you, and I'm trying to convince you that you better listen to me. So I punch you in the nose. You say, hey, no big deal. I'll punch myself in the nose. Boom. It's like, Moshe Rabbeinu makes dam, and you make more dam. That's not a big kunz. If Moshe Rabbeinu makes dam, and you get rid of the dam, okay, and now we're having a conversation. But Moshe Rabbeinu makes dam, you say, I'm going to make more dam. It's like, what? It's like you got this backwards. You're not showing your power. You're showing that you're sort of forced to suffer more than I'm even putting out over there. It's tam ha'ara, on sort of like the showdown between the Chartumim of the Mitzrayim and Moshe Rabbeinu and Hashem and Klal Yisrael. Now, the Mitzrayim, the Chartumim Mitzrayim, in the way it's described in the Torah, Vayas Kein HaChartumim Bilotehem. Okay, they use something called Lotehem, their lot, right? That's what it describes. Their kishuv. Their kishuv is called lot. Okay. What does that mean? What is this Indian of lot? Where does it come from? Okay, so pshat is l'chayra. The pshat is l'chayra. Pshat is azay. Pari says lo yadatis Hashem. He denies HaKadosh Baruch Hu, right? Li oriv ani asisiv, right? Pari says I created the world, right? I'm God. Mi Hashem. Who is Hashem? Okay, he's denying Hashem. The Makkahs are here to shtalavek. No, there is Hashem. Not only is there Hashem, the Yisayid, who is Hashem? Hashem is Hashem Echad. Hashem is not just a power. Hashem Echad. Hashem is one. Hashem is not one, meaning as one is a number. Hashem is everything. Einoid mavade. So when you say Hashem Echad, right, that means Hashem is everything. Einoid mavade. There is nothing that happens without the Kaf HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The Mitzrayim are coming to be such to that with their kishav, right? What are they trying to do? They're trying to deny Hashem Echad. What is Hashem Echad b'gematria? 26 and 13. 39. Gematria lamed tes. Okay? So the Mitzrayim are coming to deny Hashem Echad, bilatehem. They want to take the Hashem Echad and they want to transform it from Hashem Echad to Hashem Acher, right? They want to just cut off right? The way a person denies, the simplest way to deny Hashem Echad is to cut off the back of the Daled, which is actually a Yud on the back of the Daled. Okay? And you take the Daled and you turn it into a Reish, and it ends up being Hashem Acher. Okay? But they do this with the Koyach of Lot, which is Lamed Tes, which is Keneged, the Hashem Echad. B'Kedusha.
Similar by Haman.
Yeah.
About
The Zvuv, there is
the Dalet of the Reish.
Could be a Kaitz V'Dar Tatzmich. There's a word Kaitz V'Dar Tatzmich. The Dalet and the Reish is Nesapich by the Chet of Adam Arishan. That's why Dar is Dal Reish. He was Mahapich it. There's quite a bit about it. So the idea of the Makes is the Shtalavek Hashem Echad. Okay? This week's parasha it says, Leman Shisi Oisoisai Eile B'Kirbay. Okay? Leman Shisi Oisoisai Eile B'Kirbay. Okay? Zakta Megala Mukais. What's Oisoisai? Ois Yud. Oisoisai is Ois Yud. Now I don't remember exactly the shtickle that he says, and maybe he says this idea, but just on this vart, the inyan of Makkos, the Oisais, is to shtel avek the Yud of Echad that Mitzrayim is denying from Hashem Echad to make it Hashem Acher. When you put the Ois Yud back on the Reish, it ends up being Hashem Echad. Okay? Not only that, once you get Oisaisai with the Yud on the Reish to become Hashem Echad, it ends up being Oisaisai Eile. Eila is Bigamatria 39. You say, no, it's not, it's 36. Right? However, the Gemara in Shabbos tells us that the 39 malachas on Shabbos that are also to do, and you learn it out from the word Eila, right? What's the pasuk say? By Shabbos it says. No, I want to give it. Oh, I have a chumshah. The pasuk says, huh? I think it's this in Vayakra, I think. The pasuk says, Eila dvar mashativa Hashem. Last Eila dvar. Zakti Matcha. Zakti Gemara. Eila is 39. How's Eila 39? 36 plus the 3 Isis is 39. Okay, so Eila is the word that tells you 39 makas. The 39 malachas on Shabbos. What is the inyan of 39 malachas on Shabbos? Because 39 malachas is Hakadosh Baruch Hu on Shabbos is made. He was the Bari Olam, right? And Mela Shabbos screams Hashem Echad, right? And the Lamed Tes malachas on Shabbos are a shvisa from the Lamed Tes chitzoniistika avodas that are a stira to Hashem Echad. Okay, so Shabbos has the Lamed Tes malachas which is merumas in Eila Hadvar Mashatziva Hashem. Okay, and that's merumas over here. What a title Laman Shisi Oisoisai Eila, right? That the Oisoisai Yud makes it Hashem Echad, and Eila is again to shtel avek doch asar makis the inyan from Hashem Echad. The Gemara in Chulin tells us that the side of Ein Mavadai, which is a bechin of Hashem Echad, Ein Mavadai means nothing besides HaKadosh Baruch Hu. This is the Madrega that overrides all Kishuf. So the Khartoum are coming here with Kishuf, right? They're Lotehem. And Hashem Echad is what overrides it with the Ein Mavadai. The Gemara in Chulin tells an interesting story that there was this Machshefa that was trying to do Kishuf on Rab Chanina. In order to do Kishuf, Rab Chanina, she wanted to take dirt from underneath his bed or something. She was trying to get certain material that he had stepped on, he had sat on, and in order to do Kishuf on it. And he says, you can forget about it, right? Einay mavadik siv, afilu kinegik kshafim. Even kshafim are super powerful, but for zoi vayt mahatzich in the welt von Hashem Echad, einay mavadik, there's no union of kshafim. Okay, this is an overview of the Saramakas Ishtal Vekta Hashem Echad, and the Indian from the Mitzrayim and Paris position was the denial of Hashem Echad. So let's get back to Kinim. Okay, there was his galus by Kinim Etzba Alekim. Zagda Rizal, we'll try to just be a mazbim a little bit, and then maybe we'll wrap up the shir a little bit early tonight. The Zok the Arizal. Kinim is Begematria 120. Okay, what is the significance of 120? He says that 120 is the number of permutations you get from Shem Elikim. Okay, what does it mean, a permutation? Elikim is spelled Aleph, Lamed, K, Yud, Mem. Right, it has 5 letters. If you want to mix up the letters into other permutations, other orders, so you can end up with 120 Shemus Elikim, because to get all the permutations of 5 letters is 1 times 2 times 3 times 4 times 5, which gets you to 120. Okay, 1 times 2 times 3 is 6, times 4 is 24, times 5 is 120. Okay, so you end up having 24 permutations of Elikim that starts with Aleph, like Aleph, Lamed, K, Yud, Mem, Aleph, Lamed, K, Mem, Yud, etc. You get 24 of those. 24 permutations start with Lameds, 24 permutations start with Ks, 24 with Yuds, 24 with Mems. Okay? That's the 120 Shemus Elikim. Zok the Arizal, Kinim is 120, Keneged, the 120 permutations of Shem Elikim. What does this mean? So let's give you a little background. The Arizal says this following. The Mitzrayim, Parai, and the Mitzrayim were shaylit on the Yidden. Okay? They're shaylit, they be'emes have a shlita on the Yidden. How do you have a shlita? How does this Ra have a shlita on the Yidden? When Yidden are Halig, right? And we have a Kadosh Baruch Hu that fills our lives, right? How is it that the Mitzrayim are shaylit on the Yidden? Zok da Harizal, that of the 120 permutations of Shem Elikim, which describes HaKadosh Baruch Hu, who is Takif of Baal Echos, Baal Koichs Kulam in Olam Hazeh, Elikim is Midas Hadin, Malchus in Olam Hazeh, right? So there shouldn't, and if that, which would be connected to Shechina, that rests in Klal Yisrael, if the Shechina is in Klal Yisrael, there's no room for Ra to be shown in Klal Yisrael. However, the Mitzri, Paroi, and the Mitzrayim had a shlita on 48 of the Shemus Elikim. Okay, the Shemus Elikim that are connected, the Yud and the Mem of Elikim, they had a shlita on. And this was a makam, this was their achiza in Klal Yisrael. In as much as they had, I can't tell you what it means, but the words are, they have an achiza in this Kedusha. Okay, in this chelik of Kedusha. The Remes Sheba is, right? Paris says, Mi Hashem, Asher Eshma B'Kailai, right? He's being Rabbis. Me is the Yud Mem that I'm shaylat on, right? What I have to listen to, I'm shaylat on the me. Okay? The Arizal says that for this reason, Para ends up in the Yamsuf, because he was shaylat on the Yud and Mem. The Yud and Mem, when they're Tevei at the end, which is Saif of the Shem Elikim, the Yud and Mem is when he was shaylat on Hagufa, that's where he ends up getting his, when he loses Achiz on it, that's Pareah from him. The in the Yamsuf. Okay, now this may connect to other things. I don't think we're going to get to this tonight, but maybe for Yamsuf for next week. We'll talk about maybe Yamsuf for next week. Maybe that's what we'll talk about. But this is Parz Achiza. Parz Achiza is in 48 of the Shemus, because each Yud and Mem each have 24, and that's why Mitzrayim Zok Rizal is called Admas B'nei Cham. Cham is Matcha 48. This is the Shlita of Mitzrayim in Bikdusha. Okay? Now, something is Nischadish by the Makav Kinim. What's Nischadish by the Makav Kinim? Etzba Elikim Hi. Okay? Etzba Elikim. First time Etzba. Right? What does that mean? That means until now, Dam Tzvadeh was not Etzba Elikim. Okay? Mitzrayim's achiza in Klal Yisrael is through the Yud and the Mem of Shem Elikim. Let's just figure out what is Etzba when it comes to Yud and Mem. So let's hold up our hands. We have 5 fingers on our hand. You know why we have 5 fingers on our hand? Because our hands is connected Shem Elikim. We have 5 fingers on our hand. Aleph, Lamed, K, Yud, Mem. Okay? Which means that, again, I don't have Makar for this. I think it's Emes. Probably is Makar for it. Maybe I have Makar for it. I don't remember now. Okay? But the point is, it's obvious there's something called Hey Gvurais, which are connected the Hey etzbais, which are connected to hey, 5 letters of Shem Elikim. Okay, and I wouldn't know if it's Aleph Lamed K Yud Mem until the Chatum tell me Etzba Elikim, which tells me if they have a shaykhs to Yud and Mem, and they're saying Etzba is involved, right? That means Etzba is one of the two. So now the assumption is it's Aleph Lamed K Yud Mem. Okay, which means if until now, if they're shaylit on Klai Yisrael, Darch the Yud and the Mem, Makkos have to pry off the Kayach of the Shlita on Yud and the Mem. When it comes to Dam and Sfardeya, they're not talking about Etzba. It means Dam and Sfardeya is here to free the Mem of the Shlita of the Mitzvim, which is connected to Goydel. Okay, connected to Thumb. This, he said, no big deal. Thumbs we could deal with. Okay? Thumbs actually have to do with Kishuf. Right? The Gemara talks about that if the Gemara talks about if someone wants to cast a spell on you, you're supposed to hold on to your thumbs. Happens the Gemara Brachos, we'll get to it. But thumbs and kishuf seem to have some sort of connection. Okay, to protect yourself from kishuf, it says you're supposed to hold your thumbs like this. It's the Gemara Brachos. No, in the 9th parak. Yeah, we'll get there. Okay, we'll have to work out this detail, but just for the notes, just for the record. Okay. They said HaKadosh Baruch Hu is staring our achiza in the mem. We're not concerned about that. No big deal, right? We still got the yud. The main thing is holding on to that yud, right? Okay. Ultimately, right? HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to bring out the whole Shem Elikim by empowering the first 3 letters of Aleph Lamed K, which is Eile, which is we're going to get the Aleph Lamed K connected to everything, and we're going to get the whole Shem Elikim, right, back L'Kedusha, or back out of the Achiza of Pari. The Mem they don't have a problem with. That's just the Mem. You're getting to the Yud. Now you're getting to our whole Achiza, because we're still holding with the Etzba. We still got an achiza, so we're not so concerned. If you're just going to stare the mem, right? Once they say we're getting to the etzba, this is a problem. Okay? Now etzba l'kimi, they're starting to get nervous. This we can't be civil. Zok the Arizal Kinim is Bigamatria 120, which is saying this idea that the Makkah of Kinim is the full kayach bikdusha behind it of all the shemus of Elikim. And the Makkah is displaying to Mitzrayim, we're beginning to assault you in every aspect of your achiza in Shem Elikim, because we're coming after you with all 120 permutations. At this point, Mitzrayim said, this we can't be civil, this is beyond us. Okay? That's the part. I'll just furious with one zach. Efsher, why wouldn't the Mitzrayim be concerned about Eis Mem getting stared? Right? From Dam Tzfardeya. So, let's just say Pshat. Just give a little background. Shem Elikim is Din. Okay? Din is retribution, right? It's something that on the one hand it's bad. You don't want Din. So you need to have Din because Din keeps the Risham in check. Okay, but Midas HaDin, ultimately, you want it to have it very balanced. You want to be mamtik dinim. Okay, when dinim are in a matziv that it seems to be difficult, you want to sweeten the dinim. Call me mamtik the dinim. The shame that's mamtik, the shame elikim, we mentioned this in a previous year, is a shame that actually is similar to elikim, but it replaces some of the letters of elikim. Okay? And that shame is called Shem HaBitachon, which means Elikim starts with an Aleph and ends with a Mem. That remains constant. But we switch out the 3 middle letters, the Lam, the K, and the Yud, and we move them back 1 letter each one. The Lam becomes a Chaf, okay? The Hey becomes a Daled, and the Yud becomes a Tes. So you end up having an Aleph, a Chaf, a Daled, a Tes, and a Mem. It's a Macha Bitachon. Okay, it's a Shem Bitachon. That's Mamtik, the Din of Elikim, which means, practically speaking, a person, there's Chas Shal Midas HaDin, in his life, he has bitachon. That's mamtik the din. Okay? But what do you see about Shem Elikim and the din of Elikim? The din of Elikim, and you have to be mamtik the dinim, which isis have to be switched out? Not the alf, not the mem. Right? Just the three middle letters. What does that tell you? That tells me that the ice mem, right? The ice mem is not such a powerful din. Because haraya, when you mampik the din, the ice mem can stay constant. It can remain a mem. So Das Heis Mitzrayim says, this that you took off our achiza of the ice mem, that's not a big deal, Dam Sfardeya. Because anyway, the mem is not our full koyach of din. Haraya, mem can coexist with its hamtaka in the shem that's mabdik, the shem habitachon. But in shem habitachon, the etzba, the yud, that has to be taken out and turned into a test. That means this is true din. You're being the maki is staring our etzba, staring our ice yud. This is our full kayach of our din. This we can't be sayvel etzba lekimhi, and mela they didn't know how to handle from there. Okay, we should be zeiche tam tokas adinim, be zeiche to get rid of all the achiza of the goals on us. We should be zeiche to check out of the mental ward if you ever checked in, and we should be zeiche to a lot of siyat shmaya. Good Shabbos.